A True Democracy / People Power Online Voting Guide 1. Chapter 1. How to Improve the Government Quickly. A simple test to see how representative our democracies are. I offer every journalist this test to see how much your elected leader and/or party does the will of the people. Take the last 10 bills your party in power has passed into law, put them in the form of simple questions, then set up an online survey to get a view of how much the will of the people differs from what your party in power does. In a true democracy, the people as a group know what's best for life in their society. All that complicated double talk, the committees, the studies, etc. will be minimized. We go straight to the will of the people. Forget about the fake representative democracy lie we have now. Representative democracies barely exist anywhere because people are too selfish by nature. Representative democracy is the illusion of democracy, like professional wrestling, a performance for the people, but in the backrooms, the politicians, the unelected party bosses and their allies, anyone with deep pockets who gives them money, do what they want for their benefit. Every system in the world, regardless of what it's called on face, is an oligarchy, ruled by a wealthy few. Communism, democracy, republic, dictatorship, and socialism are all the same. It's always ruled by a wealthy few. I figured this out at about 5 years old when I saw my first parliamentary session on a black and white TV. I intuitively knew it was theater because it was cordial and easygoing. I figured if someone was truly trying to help the people in a real way, seeing that there is so much misery and need in the world, they would be intense, urgent, and desperate about it. Every president back to JFK has declared war on poverty, yet here is what then Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld said on September 10, 2001, about the Pentagon's business practices. The technology revolution has transformed organizations across the private sector, but not ours, not fully, not yet. We are, as they say, tangled in our anchor chain. Our financial systems are decades old. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to Thesta-NDA-RDSC.org/Shane-2001-2-001-3-trillion-went-the-Pentagon, the loss was up to $21 trillion in 2015. The United States military is so bloated that it loses track of multi-trillions of dollars, while we have poor people, homeless people, sick people without medical coverage, and people who can't afford college all over the United States. Is this what the people want, to put all that money into the military while having people sleeping in tents in the middle of winter? Of course not. Politicians don't represent the people. If they did, we would be building plowshares instead of swords. Politicians are a bunch of punks. I have not heard one say let's get rid of the military and use all that money to build houses, hospitals, and schools for our people. Costa Rica did it. You can see it in the movie A Bold Peace. We can do it on one fell swoop. Let the people vote online as to what the military budget should be. The People Power Program. The People Power Program is a change to a new system of government where the people vote online on all the big issues that matter. We govern ourselves online. We, the people, create ideas and vote on them. We eliminate the system of evil people, as in politicians, bankers, and wealthy people who rule us now. We don't need masters. That's an illusion we were brainwashed by since we started going to school and watching TV. When we get rid of politicians to rule ourselves, most of the corruption ends. We, the people, will vote to spend the money on the things that really matter. Military and national security spending will go way down because wise people know these things are mostly unnecessary, not relevant to most people's real lives as they live day by day. People want education, jobs, housing, medical care, industry, and a guarantee of a modest standard of living for everyone. We can change the world if enough people unite in most countries to create the people power referendum and vote in true democracy. True democracy is self-ruled by everybody. Set up a website like peopilapower.gov, peopilapower.canada.ca. Let the people go online, type in their social insurance/social security number, type in their postal/zip code to be used as a password, then vote on this one question. What should the military budget be? Increase it by 10%. Keep it the same. Reduce it by 25%. Reduce it by 50%. Reduce it by 75%. Reduce it by 90%. Reduce it by 95%. Get rid of the military, keep a national air rescue system of helicopters and search planes, keep the Coast Guard for rescue. Whatever choice the majority of the people vote for becomes law. That's how easy it is to do the will of the people. The people in power would be deathly afraid of losing all their power to the People Power program, while the people in general are so beaten down and scared of making waves because of political correctness in a hard economy that they're a bunch of pacified conformist wimps. We could create great societies for ourselves if the people rule themselves through online voting. Do the people of any country have the guts to unite to demand a national referendum to start ruling themselves through one of their government bodies? We don't have to totally transition to people power democracy in one fell swoop. The United States and Canada each have a Senate, a Congress/Parliament and a head dude. Replace the Senate with the online voting agency where people create their own ideas and vote on them online, plus they vote on the bills their House and President/Prime Minister come up with. It's easy to do. The important thing is that the bills/ideas have to be simple, easily expressed in a sentence so that the bill CA vote on them clearly without New York ambiguities. Some of the bills that parliaments and chambers come up with now are many pages of pork barrel spending. We have to keep it simple, like, should we get rid of the National Security Agency and use that money for education? Should we offer free college tuition to all our citizens? If an issue can't be expressed in the form of a simple question, then chances are that it's a bunch of deceptive double talk geared to favor someone other than the people en masse. Politicians say they need to debate and discuss the issues to bring insights to them. They claim that democratic debate is the special power of Parliament. I say put the debate online. They do it on Twitter X all the time. The government sets up a website for the people to create ideas in an online forum where they discuss them, much like they do on Twitter X or any online forum. This website could be called something like townhall.gov, townhall.canada.ca. This is how we get good ideas to improve our lives as the human race. The people, journalists, business interests, non-profits, and intellectuals will discuss and debate the issues there in a totally open forum, everybody equal, directed at creating new ideas to improve our countries. We have a couple of moderators sift through them, then put the good ideas up for a vote by the people at peopilapower.gov, peopilapower.canada.ca. There's your big idea to drastically improve the world, but we're run by a small group of elitists who will fight tooth and nail to never let it see the light of day. Meanwhile we, the people, have the power. I saw the Million Man March, the Occupy movement and the Arab Spring. In all these cases, the people did not have a simple tangible idea to dramatically improve society. They were a bunch of people all gathered together without a strong focus to improve society with a simple idea. Now we have that idea. We have the ability to defeat the few elitists who run the Bank for International Settlements and the Federal Reserve, private banks who appointed themselves the creators of the world's money supply. They create money out of thin air, lend it to our governments and banks and want this money back at compound interest. We're all slaves to them. We pay income tax in order to pay the interest on this debt that these banks did not work for. They created this money in a computer and on paper, while people all over the world work hard and sweat to earn money to pay taxes to their governments in order to pay these debts to these bankers. We can smash this worldwide slavery, we just need guts. We don't need the elitists at the World Economic Forum, the Bilderberger meetings, the Bohemian Grove meetings, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Open Society Foundation or APAC, the American-Israel Public Affairs Committee running the world as unelected shadow fat cats with that facade called representative democracy, with those political soap operas on TV all the time, pretending that's the best we got, a bunch of low-level assholes pretending they're helping the people when in reality they're all living large in that bubble called Washington, D.C. or Ottawa. We're not that stupid. I just looked up the US Congress public approval rating. It's 15%. It's sad. I grew up between a naval base in Halifax, Canada, and a homeless shelter. I knew it was a time of peace. I couldn't figure out why they had all that useless military crap there while these guys were down and out a few blocks away. I used to watch the military helicopters from my bedroom window and ask myself, what is this useless crap they're doing here in this modern city in a time of peace? Nothing has changed since then. Our military even has its own 18-hole golf course called Heartlands Point in Eastern Passage. Heartlandpoint.ca. Politicians try to shroud the decision-making process in mystique to fool the citizens into thinking it's much more complicated than it really is. They got their committees, their feasibility studies, their consultants from fake fields like the social sciences, their statistics from the Census Bureau, their lobbyists, and their shadow government, unelected government employees who do what they want. It's a big smokescreen to make it seem like they're studying the issues really hard to make the right decisions. Issues and decisions are simple. I say if given the chance, the people would vote the right way to improve society for us, not for the military-industrial congressional complex. If the people could vote on the Pentagon's budget, that would be the end of that massive military compound. The United States could have public health care. We could go to Jacques Fresco's ideas in his Venus Project as discussed in the two Zeitgeist movies and his YouTube channel. He had the right idea to try to create some kind of utopian society for ourselves where machines do a lot of the work.